But how many know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen? I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get like, so you're gonna have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey y'all, welcome to another dope episode of Phree Podcast with your girl Phree. And today I got somebody that's ready to pour that tea. Not messy tea, good tea. Y'all say hi to Peachy tea time.
Hello everybody, how are you?
How you doing today?
I am wonderful, Phree.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yes, so much better, so much better. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. I seen your story on the news and I was just like, wow, like that's dope, you know, and I wanted you to come share because it's a lot of people who are, you know, kind of stuck in their 9-to-5 job and wish, you know, don't really want to be there. Not that there's anything wrong with having a 9-to-5 because I still work my 9-to-5 on the side, but having that faith to step out. So you were in corporate America for how long?
Yes, I was in corporate America, actually over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
In corporate America. I've been in corporate America since I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I am now 44 years old.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been many, many years.
And you walked away, 3 years ago?
No, I walked away 3 months ago.
Oh, 3 months ago.
3 months ago, October 18th, 2023.
Okay.
Was the day I walked away from my job.
And what brought it about? Like, what made you say, like, this is it. I'm not punching this clock no more.
Well, I started Peachy Tyme, and Peachy Tyme is a nonprofit organization. I just made it a nonprofit organization back in May.
Okay.
But it was a LLC, and I decided to do a show that was dear to me, which is about families, wrongfully convicted felons, and just so many people in crime, and bringing awareness to our community just as well.
Yeah, because it's definitely needed. But why was that so near and dear to you about felons? Why did you tell them, explain to them? I mean, I know, but explain, like, what made you want to? Because a lot of people don't even look, especially in corporate America world, and people like in higher level positions, if you don't have it to hit home, you think that everybody that's in prison deserves to be in prison, and that's just where they should stay. So what made you want to take that cause up?
My brother. Hi, Corey. My brother, he's 2.5 years older than me. It's just me and him. And he has been in and out of jail and prison so many times.
Right.
Mainly in and out of jail. He only been to prison, I think, maybe once or twice. But jail is like, we always would tell him it's his resort because he was just always going back and forth.
Right.
But then I noticed that when he would be in there, he would get sick or have issues with the correctional officers, and there wasn't nothing we can do at all. We just sit there and listen to him. So when I started Peachy Tyme, because there were families that needed a voice for domestic violence, gun violence, the prison system, and the police. I get a lot of people that come on due to gun violence and domestic violence. But I have had inmates come on.
Prisoners come on. Yeah, don't say inmates. Don't say inmates. You say
get
prisoners.
Me right, girl.
Yeah.
So we have prisoners come on. And once my brother one time gave me a call, he was sick. He was so sick. And usually when he calls, I just be like, okay, what do you want this time?
Yeah.
But this time he really sounded sick. And he knew I was doing Peachy Tyme, and he said, can you please just try to get me some help? He was like, the guards, they will not give me any medicine. They won't take me to the infirmary or something.
Sick call.
Yes. Yeah. They wouldn't take him there or anything. So I was like, okay, I'll see what I could do, not knowing if I could do anything. So the first thing that came to my mind, being that I have Peachy Tyme and a large following base, I'll just put it on social media.
Right.
And once I put it on there, oh my gosh, so many people started reaching out to me, telling me that they can help. And one person told me to contact the news. So I contacted the news. They still didn't say anything to me right away, but one of those people that had saw my post, she was going through the same thing, but with her son. And the news ended up contacting her, and she contacted me. Meet me over here in Clayton County if you can right now.
Ain't that something?
And just so happened I was off of work that day. It was my day off.
Look how God worked. God will align things. Yeah.
And I went up there with her. Shout out to Ashley. Hey, Ashley, with Channel 2 News. I ended up connecting with her that same day, just as well as I did the interview. And I told her, I said, whenever you guys get the chance, do you think you could do an interview with me about Peachy Tea Time, what I'm doing and everything? And she was like, yes. And maybe 4 months later, she finally reached out to me, and she asked me if I had any families that I can bring on with me. And just so happened, my brother was out of jail. And I said, I definitely want my brother to come on with me.
Yeah. And that's the interview I seen.
That's the interview that you saw with me and my brother. They came to my home. So I was so humble, so humble. But they came to my home and everything. We did the full interview. And Phree, the best thing about it was definitely to get the exposure. But the best thing about it was for my parents to be able to see their only 2 kids on TV. Yeah. Whether it's the news, whatever, but we are on television. Yeah. And we're doing something positive.
Right.
So
that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And I'm glad, too, you was able to bring awareness for a lot of people. And now you're a voice for the voices.
Baby, when I tell you they calling me, they texting, calling, messaging me. I mean, I'm getting so much people that reach out to me because of that one interview.
Right, because of the injustices.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah, yeah. So do you feel like you're walking in your purpose?
Definitely walking in my purpose.
Right.
Definitely, hands down. I've always been the type of person that I wanted to help people. I will always tell people when I was younger that I want to go to people's house who I don't know and just knock on their door and give them money. That's what I always wanted to do. But there's so many other ways besides money that I'm actually learning right now, being that I left my job. But there's so many other ways of helping people. You don't always have to give money. You can help with time.
The resources.
Everything. So I'm definitely walking in my purpose.
And it feels good.
It feels great.
Was you worried when you took that leap? Like when you decided, like, I'm not going back to Northside Hospital. This is it.
Well, truthfully, I listen to a lot of motivational clips. A lot. And when you listening to that, yes, when you start listening to that and you pouring that in your soul and your spirit, and that's all you listen to, it becomes you.
Right.
So was I fearful? No, I was not fearful at all. Since I have left and some of the challenges that I have went through, have fear came about? Yes.
Yeah. But you didn't let it overtake you.
But I did not let it overtake me at all. Yeah. And plus I have a great support system.
That counts.
They came and was like, excuse me, you need to get back on the motivational clips or something.
Yeah, because you're falling off the bandwagon.
I was falling off, crying, all of that. But I never regretted it. I never felt like I'd made a mistake by quitting my job at all.
Yeah.
It's just, when you have been in the corporate world for so many years,
that's all you know.
That's all you know.
Program.
I know I'm getting a check every other week. I can spend this last bit of money because I know I'm going to get another check by Friday or next Friday. This time, once I didn't have any more money left, I'm like, okay, Lord, what's going to happen now? I need you to make something shake.
Yeah.
And every time when I do get nervous, God sends a sign. He sends me something that lets me know.
I got you.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. You're going to be good.
Did like family and friends, did they think you were crazy?
Yes.
How did you deal with that?
I've always looked at it as long as my husband was okay, then I'm okay. But there is one person that I still struggle with to this day. It breaks me. It makes me cry. And I hope I don't cry right now, but it's my father. My mom is 100% my number one fan.
Right.
But my dad, he's older. You know, my mom's older too, but sorry, Mama Peach. Love you. They call her Mama Peach on the show. But my dad is just so old school and believe that you're supposed to have a job until you retire. So my dad was like, you need to put that peach tea time. Can I cuss?
No, don't cuss.
No. Okay. You need to put that peach tea time stuff aside, until you retire and then go back to it. And I'm like, no, you don't understand the impact that I'm making.
Right.
You know, I'm getting messages from people daily about how I'm helping them change their life.
And that's more rewarding than your paycheck. Even though, don't get it wrong, I know you need your money. You have bills.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But the way that it makes you feel better than any paycheck, you know.
Exactly.
And then not only that, I believe when you're walking in your purpose and you're doing what God told you to do, God is going to provide. And you don't have to chase the money. The money going to come. You know, it's even times now that I say, you know, like, oh, Bob, you know, we need to run it up. Like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? But I have to remind myself, it's going to happen. When you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's going to happen. But
and that's what I tell my parents or anybody that asks me questions like that. I'm not doing anything devilish.
Right.
I'm doing all God's work.
Right.
I'm following his path. He's not going to let me walk away from my job at Northside Hospital. You know, that's one of the biggest hospitals here in Georgia.
Yeah.
They're one of the hospitals that only offers a pension plan, you know, so thank God I was able to get my pension plan.
Right.
But he's not going to let me crumble or watch me crumble because I walked away doing something that he wanted me to do.
Right.
I thought I was going to be doing celebrity gossip all day long. All day long. I still watch celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not the path he put me on.
Right.
You know, it started off like that. And I remember this lady, her name was Miss, I think her name was not Miss V. I can't think of her name, but she's from South Bend, Indiana, because I cover everywhere around the United States. And I'll never forget, I used to put the link out there on YouTube for anybody can just pop up. And she popped up, her and another young man, they popped up, and they popped up early before the show. And I'm like, what they out here for this early?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, we got a show to do. Let's go ahead and get it started. Brought them up. And at the time, I was still showing some crime videos.
Right.
That's what I do. I show news broadcasting clips, and I give my opinion on it.
Yeah.
So this particular day, I was tired, being lazy, and I wanted to do some celebrity gossip. So I talked about love and hip-hop, Yandy and Mendices. I'll never forget. And I was ready. I was pumped up. I started even Ray J was on one of the clips. And I showed the clip, and I after I brought the clip down, I asked the lady, she's an older lady, and I asked her, I said, so how do you feel about this clip that we just played?
Yeah.
She said, it was virtual. I don't listen to stuff like this at all. I don't put it in my spirit to listen to stuff like this. I'm truly about crime, getting, you know, awareness out there and everything. When I tell you I could have crawled under a rock at that time.
Because it made you feel like
it made me feel like, oh my gosh, you know, she's right.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time and my viewers' time watching this, which there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
But I could be doing something that's beneficial and bringing awareness.
Yeah.
And I already know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to fumble back and forth, you know. So that day was the day that I decided it's going to be strictly crime. Now, if some celebrities out there, they done did some crime, it's coming on Peachy Tea Time. It's coming on Peachy Tea Time. It's definitely coming on.
Yeah, but no, I definitely get it. Like, you know, when I started the podcast, I was saying, you know, it's enough relationship podcasts and it's enough gossip podcasts, you know, but I just feel like it's not enough inspiration podcasts. And in this particular time and season that we are in the world as a whole, we need to inspire. We need to encourage not just the children, but even grown people need it because it's just, I call it parallel. These are perilous times we living in. You know, so I'm glad that day that was able to pierce your spirit. You know how we get convicted and be like, oh, why did I do that? You know, yeah. Yes. So what made you name it Peachy Tea Time? And Tyme is spelled Tyme.
Yes, and the T stands for crime. Mm-hmm. Hold on. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
The T stands for crime. I just thought it was catchy. Peachy Tea Time.
Did they call you Peach? Because Atlanta, Georgia Peach.
Atlanta, Georgia Peach. Mm-hmm. I'm not from Atlanta, though. I'm from up north, Michigan, Saginaw, Michigan.
Okay.
Shout out to Saginaw. Shout out to BV. But, yeah, so I just came up with Peachy Tea Time. And I just thought it was, like I said, very catchy. I knew T stood for gossip.
Right.
But I wanted to put my own twist on it and make it stand for what I wanted to stand for. So it stood for crime.
Okay, and how has the response been? Like, you know, how your views going? And because how long you been doing Peachy Tea Time?
I've been doing Peachy Tea Time for 3 years now.
Okay.
April 30th this year will make it 3 years.
Okay.
And when I started off, I must say this too, when I started off doing Peachy Tea Time, I started off with a little bit of celebrity gossip. After that happened with the lady.
Divine intervention.
Yes. Yeah. I decided to just make it strictly crime. But what made my show stand out from other shows that does crime is that one day I decided to bring families on from all over. And they come on my show and they tell their loved one's story. Now, how did I come up with that is the question. I have a friend / sister. Her name is Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. She stays in Saginaw, Michigan. And Tiffany lost a son at the age of 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Due to gun violence. And he, you know, a lot of people say, well, you might be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, he was at grandmother's house. And grandmother's house got shot up. And he was there and he got murdered. Then 10 years later, 9 years later, her daughter was murdered.
Oh,
her oldest
wow.
daughter. And me and this young lady been friends
for a long time.
Forever. She didn't have no kids when we became friends. So I knew every last one of her children. She lost 2. She still have 1, and she has a granddaughter now. But once her daughter was murdered, that's when she reached out to me and she said, look, you got to go on Peachy Tea Time and cover the story. I said, no, I'm not. She's like, yes, you need to. This is what you do. And I'm like, no, I'm not finna cover nobody that I know.
That's near and dear to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm picking up clips and news broadcasts of people that I don't know.
Right.
So you're asking me to cover a story with somebody that I know, I've been knowing since she was born. Right. I'm like, no, I can't do that. And then she just kept asking. And then finally I said, if I do it, you have to come on with me.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it got started with the families.
But I believe that was more powerful.
Yeah.
Because it hits home. Now, I'm pretty sure it was really hard for you guys to get through the episode.
It was hard.
Yeah. But just think about how people gravitate to stories. Then when you could put a face to it and an emotion to it, it's even, you know, even better. So that's where your response kind of like went widespread.
It grew.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't put it no other way. You know, people was always watching because of the news broadcasting clips, because I don't just play any news broadcasting clips. Like, I do my research. I look for the clips that y'all gonna be like,
oh my God,
girl, where you get that from?
Yeah.
You know, like that. So they always was gonna tune in to watch those clips. But when the families start coming on, like you said, they get to actually feel their pain.
Yeah.
You know, at least as much as they can. And that's when it just took off. You know. Do I want my views to be higher? Yes. Do I want my subscribers to be more? Yes, I do. But that's why you do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Give your show exposure. You know, don't be nervous to go and sit with somebody else.
Yeah, because you gotta. But you know, my father always told me, it'll work if you work it. That's his saying. So, you know, like you said, we got to constantly put the work in order to put it out and for it to spread. And you never know. Like that one clip, like look how Cat Williams took Shay. You know, Shay. Yeah, look how it took it over that one. Not that Shay wasn't doing this thing anyway.
Exactly.
But that one interview has taken it to another level. Yeah, it catapulted.
A whole nother level.
Yeah, so you never know when your day is going to come. You just got to stay the course and stay to work. You know, talk about how your husband supports you in what you do. Okay,
and before I say that, I have a secret.
What?
This is my first time doing it in studio.
It is?
Yes, but you know with someone else. I was at a radio station. Hits 92.3.
Okay.
And I did that for a little over a year. But I was bringing in the guests.
Yeah.
So this is my first time sitting with someone in their studio. It was always virtual. So I'm going to always remember you, Phree.
Oh, okay. But you know what? Sitting here with you, I don't feel like you're nervous or anything.
I'm not.
And you feel like it feels like it's relaxed. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have known that this was your first in studio. You're doing great. And they wouldn't have known either.
Thank you. I did pray. You know, prayer is powerful. I did pray before I came in here.
Okay.
You know, and ask God to relieve all the nervousness and all of the, shakiness and everything. And
you know what? God has to forgive us because you know what? We prayed before you came, but we usually pray with our guests. And we didn't pray today, y'all. We didn't pray with Peachy today.
That's okay. We can pray when we leave.
Yeah, but we usually pray before we start any session. We pray, to just ask God to cover it and just to, touch the hearts and mind of the people. And if someone's in bondage to something, that something may be said that'll help, set them free.
Exactly.
Yeah. So talk about your husband supporting you, believing in your vision, because I just felt like that's important. It makes a difference.
It's very important. Me and my husband has been married now for 16 years.
Yes. Black love.
Black love, baby, going strong. Hey, Poolie. But, 16 years. It'll be 17 years this year. And when I tell you he's, like, the best. He's awesome. We go through things like everybody else go through. But I can truthfully say you can ask any one of my family members, my friends, my used-to-be co-workers, anybody that has been in my presence that knows me will say she has a good husband.
That's what's up. That's a good man, Savannah.
That's one of the best things ever.
Yeah.
But, we got to keep it 100. He wasn't the happiest person. He wasn't saying, girl, go ahead.
Yeah.
But one thing that I told him, and I told my father, I told my mom, because, those are the three people that has a big impact to me. I don't have to explain it to my kids. They're 6 and 9 years old.
Okay.
But to those three people that has a big impact in my life, I had to tell them, Phree, that God didn't have a conference call. He didn't have a conference call. He talked to me.
I know that's right. Y'all hear that? God did not have a conference call. Okay?
He did not have a conference call, y'all. He talked to me only.
Yeah.
So with that being said, my mentality, if God talked to me only, the only thing I need my husband to do is trust my process. And then I'm going to trust God's process. And that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And if you love me enough, and you've been with me since I was 19 years old, never broken up. It wasn't no on and off thing. We've always been locked in, always, since day one. I didn't have my first child till I was 35 years old.
Oh, wow.
So we've always been locked in. So all I needed him to do was just trust my process. I've always had a job. Always had a job. I was out for work for 1 year, and that's to get my medical assistant certificate. And that's how I got into the medical field.
Okay.
So, but besides that, I've always worked.
Yeah.
So I just need you to trust my process and let me trust God's process.
Amen.
And I promise you, it's going to work.
Yeah.
But if it ain't going to work, I always got that career. I always got the career.
Yeah.
And I could always go back. I didn't leave on bad terms. always been a great worker, you know. So, but I'm not even looking at it like that.
No.
Just like when I went into my marriage, I didn't look at marriage as in, oh, it's a possibility we could get a divorce.
Just to death do us part.
To death do us part.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I'm looking at my business. My business, my baby, my very first business. Nah,
Are you the first entrepreneur in your family?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. As far as my immediate family, yes.
And that's another reason why it's probably so hard for your father to accept.
Yeah.
You know, because we'll get rooted in tradition, in generation. You know, not even generational curses, but generational thoughts. So that's why it's probably so hard. But yeah, you was the first entrepreneur. You're gonna be the first generation millionaire too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you could pass it on.
I want to tell your viewers, you know, sometimes you do have that one person that you really, really rely on, like I do my father. Not financially, but just I value the things that he has taught me. And my father has always been a hard worker, and I love him dearly. But sometimes you have to break away and do what you feel is best for you. And as long as, if you're married, as long as you got your husband on your side, God on your side, if you're not married, as long as you got God on your side, you can't fail.
Yeah, you're daddy's girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I am too.
Me and my brother.
Yeah,
so.
and I understand. Like I felt that when you said like you value what he says. You know,
I
like
do, girl.
my dad could say something, we could like disagree, and it'll throw my whole mood off. You know what I mean? Like he might not know it, but you know it throws my whole mood off because you like, well, why he can't just see it my way, or you know what I mean? Or daddy, why are you being like that? You know, but like you said, yeah, it does. It does, and I call my mother ranting like, Daddy said such and such and such.
Girl,
and I don't even understand why he's acting like that, and he so just don't see it or whatever. We just last week we had this episode. It was a clip, from about the podcast, but the clip said the question was how did I get out, and my answer was Trump. Let me out or whatever, but it was just a sound bite. But once she seen the whole interview, then lead it into it. And he's like, oh, I didn't like that. You don't give man the credit. You never take the credit from God. But I'm like, Daddy, I wasn't taking the credit from God. Like, God has to use a tool in this realm that we in.
Yep.
He has to work through a person, and he's like, well, that's the way you should have worded it, But I didn't look at it like that. You know what I mean? And then in me in that moment, I was just like, oh God, here you go. He, always got to have something to say. But it's just because when you are close to your parents, you want to make your parents proud. You get what I'm saying? You don't want a disappointment. And in my case, I've disappointed my parents enough, going away, being gone for 14 years. So I just try to, bring happiness to them. So, I pray that you and your dad are able to mend that, and just continue to tell God, like, God, shift his heart, Yes. What God's word say, the king, the heart of the king is in God's hand. He turn it whichever way he please. So you just begin to tell God, turn his heart in my way, turn his heart in my way.
I'm going to say it every day now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it every day.
Yeah.
But one thing you just said was that we never want to disappoint our parents. Mm-hmm. And then you said that you feel like you may have disappointed them enough. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I've disappointed my parents at all.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've done anything to disappoint my parents. Mm-hmm. But I have a brother constantly in and out of jail, doing other things he's not supposed to do. So my thought is, my brother has disappointed my parents enough. I can't do nothing to disappoint them. Yeah. I just want them to just be proud of me and happy and all of that.
Yeah.
The only thing, there was one thing, I shacked up. So, sorry, y'all, but at least y'all know I was safe. I was safe and protected.
Oh, girl, you know how besides that,
I did everything. Girl, I did everything else the right way.
Yeah.
Graduated, all of that.
Yeah, didn't have a child till you was
Didn't have a child till after I was
yeah.
married, all of that. But I just felt like my brother done enough disappointment, so I don't want to disappoint them.
Right.
I know my parents are proud of me. Mm-hmm. I know my father is proud of me. I have a secret that I haven't shared with my viewers yet, so I'll tell you after the show. Mm-hmm. But my dad helped me with it. Very surprised, you know, even though my dad helped me with anything. But being that it was Peachy tea time, I just knew he was going to tell me no. But he was like, I got you.
That's what's up. Daddy. That's what's up. And this episode was brought to you by the Ayers Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Now, I know you said you didn't want to share your secret, but I just feel like that, you know, it's a possibility that someone would be blessed. So, do you think you could just share a little of your secret?
Yes, I can't say it, Shay. The club, Shay.
But that's my nickname.
It is.
I was wondering, like, when you said that, not got like messed up and said, I was like, does she know that's my nickname? But yeah, Shay, my nickname. Yeah.
Well, Phree, I will share a little bit of it. I was blessed, everybody. Thank God.
Yeah.
But yes, I was blessed to have my own studio.
Wow.
My own studio space. This will be the first time that I have something that's mine, you know, when it comes, besides Peachy tea time, you know, but as far as space-wise, this will be my very first time.
But you got to tell us, how did you find a space and how did this go about? Yeah, how did this go about? You just can't skip past that, because skipping past that, you got to make them feel it. You got to tell the story behind it.
Yeah, because I know they wondering, wait a minute.
Yeah.
She ain't got no job. To me, you got some space. But yeah, so it's this lady. Shout out to Miss Sherry. Hi, Miss Sherry.
Hey, Miss Sherry.
Yes, we love Miss Sherry. But I've been knowing Miss Sherry for some years now. She is the owner of the barbershop that my husband works at. Shout out to, what is it called? Oh my gosh.
You just having a brain
Cutting
freeze.
Kings.
It's okay.
Shout out to Cutting Kings. And that's in Stone, so y'all make sure y'all go check it out. But she has been the owner of that barbershop. She's also the owner of a salon, and she's also an owner of a boutique.
Right.
So she decided, she called me up and like, hey, come on out, so I want to meet with you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Go out, meet with her. And she was like, well, I've decided that I'm turning the boutique into a braiding shop.
Okay.
An all braiding shop. I was like, okay, that's dope. That's good. My baby can go get her hair braided. So she was like, and I also would like for you to partner with me to open up a halfway house. And I'm like, are you serious, Miss Sherry? And she was like, yes. I'm like, I am so down for it.
Yeah.
So down for it. That's something that I definitely wanted to do when I started Peachy Tea Time, the organization, the nonprofit. So I'm like, okay, God, you making this work. You're making it work for me.
Yeah.
And then finally, at the end of our meeting, she tells me, well, this space that we're sitting in right now, I'm like, yeah, this is yours. You can have it. It's all for you. And I'm like, what? Now, be mindful, when people come into my studio, they do have to walk through the braiding shop first to get to me.
It does not matter.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. I want to let everybody know. You have to start from somewhere.
That's right.
You have to start from somewhere. This woman has blessed me so much to where I don't have to pay a dime.
That's why it was so important for you to tell.
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, did y'all hear that? Like, this lady just blessed her with a space, something that she desired, something that she wanted. God made the provision for it. Why? Because she's doing what she's supposed to do. And even on the days when she feel like she can't make it, she still pushes forward. And look how God has provided. Yeah, you had to tell that. I couldn't let you leave out of here without telling that.
Baby, when I tell you I am probably the most consistent YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to call myself a YouTuber, but we can call it what it is. I am so consistent. I have been consistent since day one.
Right.
I do. When I tell people that I do 4 shows out of the week, they look at me like I'm crazy. You know, and my shows are an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. Plus, I was working 10-hour shift Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Plus, I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old that goes to a technology school. That means everything is on the computer.
Right.
They need help with everything. So
Yeah.
You know, and I got a husband. You know, got a brother.
Yeah.
Got a mom and dad. So it was really wearing on me all of this work. But guess what? Phree, I kept going.
I know you did.
That's how much of a passion I have for Peachy Tea Time. I love bringing awareness to everybody. I even, for last year, I brought it out for the first year, rolled it out for the first year, where my hometown, Saginaw, Michigan, I paid a young lady to bless 3 families for the months of June, July, and August. And they received a yard sign for their loved one.
Oh, wow.
And when I tell you, baby, shout out to Fashanta. She did her thing, baby. It wasn't just like them regular happy birthday and that's it.
Yeah.
It had balloons, paper balloons, but it had everything. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I also paid for them, so she may put "We miss you" in the letters. And then I also paid for a picture of their loved one to be in angel wings, with angel wings on the side.
Wow.
And it's stuck down in the ground. And then afterwards, they get to keep the angel sign with their loved one. And I did that for 3 months consistently. And then I moved here to Atlanta. Not moved, but I moved the thing they were trying to do here to Atlanta. But Atlanta wasn't too nice to me. You know, because everybody is so far away. So we couldn't do that because everybody was charging by the mileage. So what I decided to do was I blessed families here in Atlanta with just a little plaque with their loved one engraved in it. And I put a little saying, whatever my heart told me to say. And I put that on there. And they can plug it in, and it lights up. And just keep lighting and LED.
And that's why God keep lighting up for you, because tell them.
See how my face just lit up when I said.
But tell this last part too. What did Miss Sherry tell you about after she told you that's your space and you don't have to pay anything? What did she tell you in a year's time?
Miss Sherry told me, don't put too much money into this space. She said, because within the year, she said possibly 2 years, she said, I'm going to get you a bigger space. She said, me and you both. We're going to have a bigger space. She said, because I see a live studio audience. And one thing that I can say is Miss Sherry's already winning. Yeah. She's already Black Girl Magic. So I can't help but to win right along with her.
That's right. That's right.
That's all I can do is win with her.
And what you doing the plaques, what you doing the yard signs and everything, you know, it may not seem like it's a lot, but it is to that family. And I got to tell you something else that my father used to always tell me, like when I was in prison and I would get upset because I was writing paperwork for girls and they was getting out of prison, but I was still stuck there. And I couldn't understand, like, how am I writing this for them? They could go home, but I'm still here. And my dad used to tell me, what you make happen for somebody else, God will make happen for you. So I'm telling you that today, the things, how you're pouring into those families, how you're making it happen for them, God is making it happen through you, for you, whether it's Miss Sherry, whether it's random strangers, whoever. But it's good. Peachy Tea Time, it's going to get to the place you want it to be. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to develop. You're going to go forward. Like, you going to look back on this day and be like, Phree said it, Phree said it, Phree, look at me now.
Thank you, Phree. I receive it. I receive it so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, I was hoping you would give me the crack.
Bob, bring me some Kleenex, please. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna happen. And so before we go, I want you to talk about your faith, because you have your faith shirt on. Like, what does faith mean to Peachy?
My faith is so strong. My mother's mom, which is my grandmother, died when she was 7 months old. When my mom was 7 months old. And my mom never knew her dad. And my mom was raised by a pastor. And when I entered the world, I was told to call the pastor Uncle Smitty. I wasn't told to call him grandfather or papa. So I called him Uncle Smitty all my life. And my Uncle Smitty passed away. And I miss him dearly, so much. But he installed so much into us. The church was right across the field from our house. So So even when mama didn't want to go or daddy didn't go,
I went.
Y'all go ahead and go.
Uh-huh.
It's right across the field. They didn't have to watch us. We had to take the church bus.
Yeah.
None of that. Just walk across the field. So I went to church all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he always talked about faith and how whatever you ask God for, He'll give it to you.
Yeah, He will.
You just got to ask, but you also got to do your part.
That's right. Faith without works is dead.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to understand that, you know. I would ask, but I guess I wasn't doing my part all the time,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
I knew God was blessing me with different things, but one thing I could truthfully say, and that we all can say, is God never failed us
at
because
all.
We're still here.
That's right.
Regardless of what we went through in life, we are still here. So that lets me know that He's not going to fail me at all. I just got to do my part.
That's right.
And have faith and believe.
Belief
I could go,
is so important.
Girl, we could go on and on. But I had my first child at 35. I didn't know if I could have kids. Phree. Me and my husband been together since I was 19.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't know if I could have kids. And I started feeling like less of a woman. Once I got to that age where I'm like, okay, now I really want to have kids now.
Yeah.
I started feeling less of a woman.
Wow.
And I remember my auntie telling me, you got to have faith. You got to believe that it's going to happen.
That's right.
And I said, okay, what can I lose? I done went to the doctors. They said ain't nothing wrong with me. I can have kids. So I guess she might be right. Let me have faith. Right. Let me start believing that this is really going to happen. And God blessed me.
Not
with
once.
2 babies.
That's right.
2 babies. So once that happened, I was unstoppable. I know God is real. I know if I believe in something and I have the faith, I know it's going to happen.
That's right. That's right.
That's what faith means to me, baby.
Faith walker, faith talker.
Hey, Trey, here, mommy, love y'all.
So before you go on Break Free, I always ask this question. This is our closing question. Tell me something that you feel like you're in bondage to and you need to break free from.
I got to say it. Anxiety.
Really?
I know it's hard to believe.
Really?
My anxiety is crazy when it comes to my kids. Crazy. I've had 2 miscarriages before my son came, and my daughter, she's a twin, and my son didn't make it. He left us when I was 7 months pregnant, but I had to carry him the entire pregnancy because they was in separate sacks. And so...
What was that like for you?
It was hard. The hardest thing I've ever had to go through. So hard. 6 days before my birthday and 3 days before the baby shower. Oh, it was hard. I had to take stuff back to the stores that me and my husband and my parents and stuff had bought to take to the baby shower.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard. Very, very hard. You know, but that's another thing. If I could get through that.
Yes, God.
And I think, truthfully, out of everything I've been through in my life, that was the most devastating thing that I've ever had to deal with. If God took Peachy Tyme away from me right now,
it still wouldn't hurt as bad as that did. Girl, it was so many layers to you. I had no idea.
That was the hardest thing. But I thank God for my husband. He was there, still here, have the best relationship. We laugh. We are just humble people. We love the Lord. We go to church. I don't have to beg him to get up, you know. So for him to be there through that, you know, it wasn't no, let me pick up a phone call, baby daddy. Oh, you think you could come up here to the hospital? No. We was there the entire time together. And that was the hardest thing ever for me to deal with.
Wow. And
that was something my mama couldn't help me with that one.
Because she had never been through it. But you know, that needs to be another layer to Peachy Tyme, the nonprofit. It needs to be another layer of women who lose children during childbirth. I wrote a book.
I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wrote a book. It's on Amazon, and it's also
Tell us the name of it.
What's the name of my book? I just started selling it. So I don't know how to wait prepared. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
What's it called? Make sure you edit this. What happens? I can't get my phone right quick. I can't get my phone. It's on there. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I didn't expect we was gonna have this conversation.
Yeah, it's okay. We can.
And it took me to another. It took me to a whole nother place.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, and then guess what?
I try not
Y'all
to talk
see,
about
this
that
is
much.
real time, baby. It's happening in real time. Things happen, and then not only that, I think too that you know the emotion that's wrapped around it, and then you wasn't really thinking that we was gonna go there. You thinking we just gonna talk about Peachy tea time, but honey, when you come to break free, you really coming to break free.
You really coming to break free. You really coming to break free. I know my ride home is gonna be like excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
but I'm telling y'all right now, my mind just went completely blank.
Before the baby shower, did you tell everybody?
Everybody knew.
You told them
you gotta understand that me and my husband is everybody's favorite couple.
Wow.
So they couldn't wait for this moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They couldn't wait for this moment to happen. And everybody knew. I didn't care that I had miscarriages before.
Yeah.
I had faith and I believed. So I just knew it was gonna happen. And I was scared.
Yeah.
But I knew they was gonna come.
Yeah.
I knew both them babies was gonna come.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out that way.
And how was you able to be present at the baby shower that day, knowing that
I canceled it?
Oh, you canceled the baby shower.
So my daughter never had a baby shower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She never had a baby shower. And I still got plenty of stuff because she was my only girl. And it was hard to be happy and sad at the same time because it's impossible. You can't. So I had to figure out how I'm going to be happy for her when she entered this world, but be sad for this little boy that's fully developed. So it was no more miscarriages, Shay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was no more miscarriages. I had to figure out, am I going to bury this baby? Or am I going to cremate this baby? I ain't got no money. We had to cremate him. But we all got necklaces. Yeah. I always try to find the bright side of things.
Yeah, yeah.
We all got necklaces. My husband and my son got male necklaces. Me and my daughter, we have female necklaces. And then I also have a bonus daughter, too. Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine's 24. Okay. And she has a necklace just as
well. Thank you again, everybody. I pray that y'all was able to break free today. And I pray that, God just continues to take us on a journey that we never knew that we needed. Until next time, remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I know you guys just enjoyed that episode, so I need you to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And although Peachy couldn't think of the website and everything, during the episode, I have it right here, guys. The name of the book is Will I Ever Have a Baby? How I Dealt with a Miscarriage or Two. Make sure you support Peachy Tea Time at peachyteatime.com. Time being spelled Tyme. I love y'all. See y'all next time. And this episode was brought to you by The Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.